Hello YouTube, I'm Dave from Team 2O, and I'm going to show you my Gravekeeper deck today. So let's get started with monsters. Run about 15 of them. Run 3 Spy, of course. It's your standard card. Use it just about all the time. Get your special summons off. Has a big butt, It's good for just about everything. You got 3 recruiters, and you run that obviously because it's your searcher. Very good floater. Okay, yes, and you got your 3 searchers to get out your Necro Valley. Plus, it's a pretty powerful Gravekeeper. Used to be the strongest one before all the new stuff came in. So there's that, and you run 2 Descendant. Um, I used to run 3 way back when I first started, but I've kind of opted out of that and decided to just do 2. You don't really need to have that many of it. There's so many ways to get it back into your hand, so it doesn't really matter. I'd also like to say this is like the first deck that I actually came back to Yu-Gi-Oh with. Way back, because I started playing when I was a kid, but like this is my first like serious deck that I got into and started winning with, so I have a lot of history with this deck. So, but this is my first time building it in a while, so it might be a little rusty, but I'm just trying to do the best I can, all the while using all this new stuff too. Play 1 Heretic because I feel that as long as Necro Valley's in the field, he's unaffected, so I can just continuously poke my opponent. Um, yeah, it's useful in that way, but again, I don't know, he's not very powerful, so I don't know, I might opt to take him out eventually. I like to run 1 Ambusher just in case, so I don't have to be really afraid of losing Necro Valley. I can always just use him and get it back. And plus, it has that useful effect of dropping or putting 1 card back from the graveyard, your opponent's graveyard. So yeah, he's pretty useful, and he's also the strongest one, I think. Yeah, the strongest normal summon guy that you can use now. Run 1 Assailant because he's very useful for getting around a lot of monsters because he's going to typically be at 2,000, and he'll switch whatever I'm attacking to defense mode, and usually he can get over it. And the only non-Gravekeeper in the deck is a Thunder King, and I just run that because it's a really good card in this format. So, yeah, so that's the monsters. Got a bunch of spells. Not too many, but got enough. 3 Necro Valleys, obviously. So you can, the deck runs off Necro Valley. It's a broken card in itself, and it's obviously needed in a Gravekeeper deck. So, 3 Necro Valleys. 3 pots because you hardly special summon and it helps you set up for plays. Yeah, really the only time you do special summon consistently is with Spy, and that happens normally on your opponent's turn anyway. Uh, it depends. But yeah, pot's great in the stack. 2 MSTs. Side the 3rd one, I don't feel that it's necessary to run all 3, especially when you get Descendant popping things. Only 2 Stells, because I feel like it's just like, when you have 3 of them, it's just like, all you're doing is adding to and plussing every time. But like, you only have 1 normal summon, so, how many times do you want to do that? So, I figured out a long time ago 2 is better than 3. Yeah. 1 Royal Tribute, because Royal Tribute is a broken card against everything except Dark Worlds. 1 deck that really fucks with this deck. But it's a great card, obviously, and probably should be banned. Book of Moon. Other than just being a staple, it's very useful in this deck because you can reset your Spy and just use it again. And also Dark Hole being a staple. So that's all the spells. And the rest will be traps. Pretty heavy trap. This is somewhat of a budgety deck. So I don't have the disciples or a lot of the new things such as the Imperial Tomb. So for negation, I run 2 7 tools. No heavy storm in this format, so it works very well. I'm not really worried about losing things because of spells. I've got 2 Fiendish Chains. for the monster effect negation. Two-dimensional prisons for removal. One compulse. One torrential. One bottomless. One mirror force. A solemn. And the last one of is a Starlight Road, which some people will laugh at because there's no heavy storm and they think, oh, well, what are you going to use that for? But you're forgetting that there's still Dark Hole, there's Torrential, there's Mirror Force, so many things. And the fact is, the card doesn't just negate, it pluses you. It brings out a Stardust Dragon, which can negate destruction in addition to what this card does. So it's a really good card, and I'll definitely play it in this deck because I have a lot of times I'll have two monsters out at the same time. You know, who could be destroyed at the same time. Plus, if someone decides to Black Rose you, there you go. They can't really do anything about it. For the extra deck, I don't have much. I want to get a Excision Knight and Silent Honors Arcanite, but it's probably going to take a little while because I'm kind of a budgety Yu-Gi-Oh player, so odds are I'm probably not going to get it for a while, but I certainly would like to get it. I mean, because you don't really special summon much in this deck, but it's good to have options. So I play one Photon, whatever the butterfly thing. It's pretty good. It's useful for a lot of things. One Gemini Pearl. It's a beat stick, good against skill drain decks. One Maestroke. He's probably the one I'll be bringing out the most. Him and probably Utopia. Although I don't really like Utopia as much as I used to. Then Cowboy, because he's a game ender. And then finally, just a Stardust for the Starlight Road. Yeah, so that's the Gravekeeper deck. It's pretty basic, nothing special. It's obviously a budgety kind of deck. But yeah, tell me what you think. I'll definitely try and get some of the better cards for the future. I just don't really have the time or cash to really put into it, and plus, like, although I love this deck, it's not really like a deck that I love the deck in general, but I don't always enjoy playing it, so like I kind of get tired of it, so it's not something I really want to invest much money in. But I don't know, in the future I might get some of the other cards, and they might get reprinted, so I might use them then. But yeah, anyway, that's my deck, and tell me what you think. Team 2-0.